Minasan konbanwa. Welcome to Express PD. I'm Monique from Japanese You Reads. And in tonight's webinar, we're going to go through a demo of a clip chat using this brilliant, funny, fabulously engaging short clip called Crazy Carrot. This is probably one of my very first movie talks that I tried and attempted, and I still have great memories of just how engaged the students were. I did this in primary school at the time, so grade 5 and 6, and also in years 7 and 8. So it was it has stuck with me. So when somebody mentioned about a movie talk that might be appropriate for Easter, I thought, well, this is a little bit of a stretch, but definitely something that I think your students would really enjoy. So it is a great clip because it is great for any time of the year, but I think especially because it uses the Super 7 so well and can be made really comprehensible with these fabulous visuals. But yes, I'm using it now in April as a Easterish themed end of term activity. So just for those who are not sure of movie talk or clip chat and what it is, just a quick overview. It's a really, really powerful CI strategy and comprehensible input technique. So it's where a teacher takes a short, engaging clip. It could be a little short movie like this one. This is 3 minutes long, or it could be what are those things called? An advertisement or yeah, just some little clip, and then you provide meaningful, comprehensible language, providing that that input. So it has 4 big ticks from me because it's one, provides that really contextualized language and really comprehensible input. It repeats, you can repeat high frequency structures really, really naturally. It definitely engages the students with this storytelling and with the visuals. And it really does encourage the students to, to build up their listening comprehension because it doesn't force any output. So the students can sit back and enjoy the story and maintain engagement and involvement, but with short responses. So there's no forced output, but there is definitely some connection and questioning that happens throughout the movie. So, and the other thing that the beauty of clip chat is that the same clip can be used for all levels. And this really does help with reducing preparation time. Tonight, I really wanted to focus on showcasing how this can be modified according to the different levels. So a super, super beginner, a beginner with a little bit of language under their belt, and a more intermediate proficiency level student. So you can see here, ninjin, usagi, the question words, otoko no hito, otoko no ko. These are core words which will be used throughout, and they're used even for a beginner. They're used so much throughout this storytelling process that they certainly do know them by the end of the clip. It's really important, I have found, even with the super beginner students, to get them invested and engaged in the story. And so one way of doing that is to ask yes or no questions or either or questions. So there's low the stakes are kept quite low, but there's still involvement and engagement. The students can show their comprehension just with one word answers, with a thumbs up or thumbs down, answering yes or no. And so asking lots of questions that they can answer, but not expecting output. It's rather engagement in the input process is what we're really looking for. So progressively, you can include more vocab, such as add more adjectives, adverbs, conjunctions. And we make them really comprehensible, even with beginners, with gestures. And I've talked a lot about the gestures that I've used. Also with facial expressions, that really does help. And I find that this one is an easy one to ham up and get really lost in the story and the comedy. We may use more than this language, but this is our targeted language. And for beginners especially, it's if we can express the meaning and allow comprehension to happen really quickly and easily, this is what we want, so that the students can really be immersed in that storytelling and get in flow. And this is a sample, but you can modify it obviously for the language that you need to cover in your classes. So let's have a go. As always, check for its appropriateness with any clip chat choice. Check that it's appropriate for your learning context. So I would typically have this with some word wall support to scaffold the language. So the keywords that I would like to use depending on the year level that I'm using this with. But for a super beginner, I might say, nan desu ka? Nan desu ka? Anna? Whole? Anna desu ka? Hi, yeah. So we coach them to respond in the way that they can. Dare no Anna desu ka? And you can ask them to guess. English is okay for the super beginners, and then we can restate it in Japanese. Inu no Anna janai desu. いいえ。誰の穴ですか? And so forth. And then you could describe the rest. 木です。穴です。何ですか? 山ですか? And then check for comprehension. A quick check. Yama desu ka? What does that mean? Oh, is it a mountain? Hai, hai. Yama desu ka? Hai, ie. And then straight back into using the target language. Ki wa oki? Oki desu ka? Chisai desu ka? So for beginners, maybe you could extend it to nani ga arimasu ka? Ki ga arimasu. Yama mo arimasu. And then a quick comprehension check. For intermediate, it might be slightly more advanced language, such as nani ga miemasu ka? Nani ga miemasu ka? Nani ga mieru? Maybe you're using the plain form with your intermediates. Minasan, nani ga arimasu ka? Usagi wa nani ga arimasu ka? for super beginners or beginners. 何を持っていますか？カップ。カップですね。はい、うさぎはカップを持っています。皆さん、what kind? どんなカップですか？バナナのカップですか？いいえ。何ですか？人参です。はい。And for the intermediates, maybe うさぎは何をしていますか？何を飲んでいますか？ So there's lots of ways that you can extend the language choice. And then you continue on with the story. 誰がいますか？男の子です。はい、男の子です。男の子はどこにありますか？ Again, extend or reduce the language choice depending on your level. It could be for super beginners. 男の子です。男の子です。女の子じゃないです。皆さん、誰ですか？ Check again. Maybe some of them can say 男の子です。Give them a choice. 男の子ですか？それとも女の子ですか？ Okay. Again, you can talk more about what he has, where he is. Is he happy? What does he want? Moving on. So, 犬ですか？いいえ。何ですか？どんな動物ですか？うさぎです。はい。うさぎの耳です。うさぎの耳はピンクですか？いいえ。何色ですか？白です。はい。Okay. So again, there's so much that you can do. I'm going to just zip through and give you some suggestions. 男の子ですね。男の子はトラップ、トラップがあります。トラップがあります。男の子は何が欲しいですか？犬が欲しいですか？それとも、うさぎが欲しいですか？うん、男の子はトラップに何をしますか？ So for the beginners, you might stick to the super seven, which is the highest frequency verbs coined by Dr. Terry Walsh, who has pared down all the verbs to seven, or in Japanese case, maybe eight, with or shimasu included. And with those core foundational verbs, the most basic of conversation can happen. So with my beginners, I really like to hone in on the super seven. So for the beginners, we might say use oshimasu in this case, oshimasu ka, trapu ni nani o shimasu ka? Or for the extension, otoko no ko wa wana desu, trapu, wana ni nani o iremasu ka? 人参を入れますね。はい。リンゴを入れますか？いいえ。何を入れますか？はい。人参。どんな人参ですか？大きい？小さい？ 小さい人参を入れます。皆さん、誰ですか？男の子？女の子？男の人ですか？男の人です。男の人もいます。男の人は何を持っていますか？ or 何がありますか？トラップ。はい。うさぎのトラップです。うさぎのトラップは怖いですか？ So extend with some more adjectives as appropriate. 怖いです。男の人のトラップはとても怖いです。皆さん、誰がいますか？男の子がいます。男の子はトラップがあります。でも、怖いトラップじゃないです。誰が怖いトラップがありますか？ Okay, so using the same language but in a variety of different ways. So it's not repeated in a predictable way, but using and manipulating the same foundational selection of language chunks in multiple different ways. はい。二人はトラップがあります。二人は何が欲しいですか？ or 何が好きですか？うさぎが好きですね。うさぎが欲しいです。男の人は大きな人参を持っています。だから嬉しいです。うさぎも嬉しいです。うさぎは人参が好きです。人参が欲しいです。Or you could say 人参を食べたいです。He wants to eat it. Again, choosing the language that's appropriate for your cohort. うさぎは嬉しいです。男の子は嬉しいですか？いいえ、嬉しくないです。男の人の人参は大きいです。でも、男の子の人参は大きくないです。小さいです。でも、たくさん人参があります。問題がありますか？男の人はたくさん人参がありますか？どう思いますか？ Check in with the students. どう思いますか？ What do you think? ゲスしましょう。男の人はたくさん人参がありますか？ありませんか？じゃあチェックしましょう。たくさん。 男の人はたくさんの人参を持っています。トラックにたくさんの人参があります。でも、でも、男の子は何をしますか？何をしますか？おー、何ですか？男の人は、ごめんなさい。男の子は何を持っていますか？何をしますか？何ですか？タイマー。タイマー。男の子はタイマーがありますか？うん。どんなタイマーですか？何ですか？ So I'd get them to sort of imagine what it might be. オーブンですか？うん。はい。オーブンです。オーブンのグラブです。男の子は何をしますか？どう思いますか？ So, オーブンに何ですか？ For super beginners. or 男の子は何を作っていますか？ What's he making? 何を作っていますか？ Again, guess しましょう。ケーキを作っていますか？クッキーを作っていますか？ケーキを作っています。どんなケーキですか？ And this is a good chance to uh, maybe provide some input on foods, on colors and sizes and shapes. あ皆さん、うさぎはとっても嬉しいです。どうして ?Why? どうして嬉しいですか？うーん、人参のケーキが好きです。人参のケーキが欲しいです。皆さん、誰が人参のケーキを持っていますか？男の子ですか？それとも男の人ですか？ So get them to guess, and while they're guessing, you can check for their comprehension of that question too. ああ、じゃあ、皆さん次は何をどう思いますか？を次はどうなると思いますか？じゃあ皆さん、let's have a look at the next part. Okay, so a fun little ending to the story. So after that, I would definitely do a write and discuss. If you're not sure what a write and discuss is, you can check out the the webinar, forgotten which number, check into YouTube, and I have a whole list of videos there that explain a lot of the CI comprehensible input techniques. And write and discuss is one that I use a lot. It's fantastic to provide another layer of comprehensible input for the students after some rich oral input that we've just done. So another thing that we could do as a follow-up would be a picture talk about one of the scenes or a couple of the scenes, or maybe a character description of each of the characters in the story. So describing their what they have, what they want, are they strong, what they like, what they don't like, what they do, and yeah, just to recycle that same language over again. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining me and checking out this video. If you've got any more questions or would like to dive a bit more deeply into the conversation, you can join the Japanese Reads community, or check out any of the videos in my YouTube channel. So, ではまた今度頑張りましょう。